Is it on?
So today I'm going to be answering that question that I know you're all thinking, what do I draw? You know, I sit down with a pen and your sketchbook and your paper and so all of a sudden your mind goes blank and you think, well, what do I actually draw? Well, I've got some ideas for you and some tips that you might find useful. So number one is image galleries. There's lots of free image galleries out there. There is websites like Unsplash and Pixabay that you can download images for free. And they're searchable, so you can just put lighthouses or village life or, you know, a dead fish, whatever, into the search engine, and it'll come up with all those pictures. Now, if you're not publishing them anywhere, if they're just for your own use, you can pretty much sketch anything, really. It's only if it's published that it becomes like a breach of copyright. That said, there's an awful lot of copyright-free images on things like Unsplash, as I said, is a good one, and you can sketch those to your heart's content and then post it up on all your socials, and you've got no problems with copyright or anything like that. So yeah, there's Pixabay and there is unsplash.com, but if you search for free images or free copyright images on your search engine, there's loads of sites that sort of provide that service. So number two, why not revisit some of your old holiday snaps? Those holiday photographs are generally, you've taken them because they're what you like. So why not use those likes to recreate some of them in a sketch pad or on a piece of paper? And it's a really nice way of maybe putting that on your wall as an alternative to a photograph. Numero trois, I think that's number three. Try drawing challenges. If you look on Instagram, if you go on Instagram, that is, there's always drawing challenges on there. That are maybe weekly things, or like myself, I host Boattober every year. That's 31 days of non-stop drawing boats, which is some people's idea of hell. But if you're a bit weird like me, then it's quite a challenge I look forward to. So yeah, there is lots of drawing challenges both online, on Instagram and places like that. So have a look at those. So number four is objects in your home. We all have objects in our homes, you know. So just sketch anything that's around you, but try and keep it quite simple. Don't try and make it too complicated for yourself. Often like a really satisfying little doodle of just one item, one object, is more pleasing, I think, than trying to do something really complicated. And the other thing you can do is you can do a big page of doodles, and every day just do a tiny little doodle in one part of it, and it'll make up this lovely big page of stuff all sort of together. You could always use like a continuous line to try and attach all those doodles together, so the whole thing almost looks like a continuous line of drawing all around the page, if that makes sense. Okay, number five is just a particular favourite of mine. Foam boxes, foam booths, you know, benches, trees, railings, little close-up bits of our outside world. There's always this temptation when you go out to sketch, you know, if you're going to be urban sketching, it's like, how do I capture the whole scene? How do I know what to paint, draw, sketch, or what? So how do I know what I need to draw or sketch or what to leave out? Well, don't worry about any of that. Just choose a small element, you know, just a small part of the scene. Concentrate on a single bench or a component, you know, or a part of a building. So number six, draw yourself. It's a bit of a classic, this, isn't it? You know, the artist's self-portrait. But actually, I find it kind of useful. I don't use a mirror because I think it's not very comfortable sitting in front of a mirror and drawing yourself. What I'd rather do is just take a snap of yourself with a phone or a tablet or something. Try and use some interesting lighting, you know, so you have a little bit of shadow, like you can see here. I've actually got a video light on there. But if I turn that off, my face will go into shadow on this side, this side, this side. And that will give you a lot more interesting a portrait than if you just use direct light. So put a window here next to you and take a photograph on your phone and then use that as a reference drawing. It's really, really fun. And the other thing as well is you can use a continuous line method. You could use just cross-hatching. Just use values. You know, don't feel you have to sort of go in there and replicate every beautiful wrinkle. You know, you can actually be a bit free with it. You know, you could use some charcoal on your fingers. You don't actually have to sort of faithfully recreate rabbits exactly how you look. That's not the point of it. It's just a reference of values and a reference of sort of shapes. Subvert it. Go all Picasso, you know, put your eyes that way in triangles, whatever. Just have fun with it. So number 7, don't draw. Spicy. I actually find often that writing, the act of writing a letter, or you know, a post-it note for a loved one, a message, you know, something that's not just, you know, A, B, C, D, but write something. That for me has the same goodness as doing a sketch. I do enjoy it a lot, and I forget all the time, and I must write more letters because I do love letter writing. Or you could just doodle. You know, you can get a pen and do some circles, practice some circles, or draw a big square and draw squares within that square. You don't actually have to draw a thing to get that same feeling of relaxation. And so I hope there's a bit of inspiration there. If you can't decide what to draw, you've got some options. You know, you can download an image, take a picture of yourself, pick up any old thing that's lying around and sketch that. Or just maybe write a list of the things you'd like to draw in the future, you know. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.